So NBA All-Star Weekend was this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and it has been widely criticized from fans, analysts like myself, and with many deeming as the worst ever due to the lack of star participation, excessive commercials, in a disappointing format that they try to put in a new format to make it more entertaining. It was the 74th edition of the NBA All-Star Game in the Bay Area has been deemed another disappointment, in my opinion, for the league, trying to spark intensive discussions among fans and analysis alike. But a lot of NBA analysts like Kevin O'Connor, he did say that as far as the 2025 NBA All-Star Weekend was the worst ever, even worse than the previous years when All-Star simply shot the three-point contest after three-pointer after three-pointer and lacking real competition. Now, Adam Silver should definitely be embarrassed because, in my personal opinion, I feel like the NBA All-Star Game has been a joke for the last 10 years. People say, oh, the format was better, it made it more competition. I completely disagree with that. It was less defense again. People didn't care about the All-Star game. The promotion for the All-Star game, people forgot that the All-Star game was even on. Even All-Star weekend, people forgot because the lack of promotion, so many commercials, so many things going on in between games. They try to make it a tournament bracket where you have four teams and they advance to the finals and go from there. So you had a team with Team Chuck, Team Shaq, Team Kenny, and Team Kansas Parker. Which Team Shaq ended up winning the tournament for the NBA All-Star Game, but trying to add the rising stars in there to try to make it more interesting and competitive. We saw some players was being competitive, but some players was not being competitive. This weekend all along was not that great. It is sad to see as the dunk contest, it had to take a G Leaguer to win it 3 times in a row for the dunk contest, where these players been dunking all year long. You let these young guys come in and get it, but Mac Machung, the guy is a problem. He won it 3 times in a row. When John Morant's going to step up? When Jaylen Brown is going to step up? When is LeBron James even going to be at least one of these slam dunk contests? Where's Donovan Mitchell that won it before? Zach LaVine that won it before? Where is the competition in the festivities in general? Even in the three-point contest, Stephen Curry, you're in the Bay Area. You played for the Golden State Warriors. You did not even attempt to play in a three-point contest. But shout out to my boy Tyler Hero from the Miami Heat for winning the three-point contest. But the skills challenge, terrible. It was just a terrible outing overall for the NBA All-Star Weekend. And the fans on Reddit echo so many sentiment expressing their frustrations. I am expressing my frustrations with new 14 format, which may found it painful to watch, especially for those in a different time zone who had to wake up early in the morning to go to work the next day. The event structure in the criticism with reports indicating that the introductions, including commercial, lasted 30 minutes following the 10-minute pregame talk. It was just too much time being put on their hands. We saw Mr. Beast give out $100,000. The analysts for this show that followed took 22 minutes in commercials that accumulated a staggering 80 minutes in various forms. It was just not a great outing. It was just not a great outing for the NBA All-Star team. We had the Shaq OGs beat the Chuck Global Stars 41-25. Kansas Parker had the team Rising Stars. They lost to the Shaq OGs 42-35. And then Kenny Young Stars lost to Chuck Global Stars, which was 41-32. I'm sorry to say, but the Kansas Young Rising Stars, they really wanted to play. They really wanted to beat the Shaq OGs. The OGs didn't give a two craps about this NBA All-Star Weekend. It was terrible. Like, people with I can't even explain how LeBron James had ankle soreness and decided like 10 minutes before the game started that he wasn't going to play. How? How? It was just terrible all the way around, ladies and gentlemen. It was not a great format. It is a mixed reviews though of it. People did like it, some people didn't. But the laziness of defense was still played regardless of the format. They know they're getting paid millions and millions of dollars from the NBA. They know they're not going to take this seriously. So why keep having an all-star game if they not going to take it seriously? And there was a lot of snubs that came into this all-star game that actually ended up being an all-star game due to injury. But last year's NBA all-star game did a collective faceplant in Indianapolis last year. And the NBA got together with its players, including one of its standard bearers in Stephen Curry, to figure out what could we do to improve the signature mid-season showcase. But in the result of reimagining the format, Stephen Curry did win the MVP. We all know that. We know that he was going to win the MVP. Of course, he's in the Bay Area. And he was making shots from half court. And he was doing floaters from the three-point line. We've seen all that. But the result was reimagined format that won Curry in part of creating that turned a 48-minute game in between two teams or three or shorter games featuring four teams accumulating the All-Star MVP, which was Curry, which was on Team Shaq and Team Chuck 41 to 25 in the championship. That championship game was so horrible. It was 11-1, and the first team to 40 wins the game. They saying it was so fitting that on a weekend that could wound up being as much of a celebration of Stephen Curry's legendary career with the Golden State Warriors, it was anything else it was who asked whether the format helped or create how it worked, what exactly should the event look like. People saying that we needed a change. I understand that we need a change. But at the same time, let's be freaking realistic here. No change happened. Until the players make it serious, then we could go from there. But we can't go from there because the players don't care. They don't care. I remember back in the days, in the 90s, in the early 2000s, they actually cared. They wanted to win for their conference. They wanted to win for the East Coast. They wanted to win for the West Coast. And now you have the dunk contest as being a laughingstock. Again, Mac Machung won it 3 years in a row, and nobody wants to compete with that man. Nobody wants smoke with Mac Machung. I'm going to say it like that, and I said what I said. Nobody wants smoke with him in the NBA when it comes to dunking the basketball. It's that simple. So for me, the NBA All-Star Game in 2025 was definitely a flop. It was terrible. I would have loved to see Sabrina Ionescu go up against Stephen Curry again, but they both backed out. Now, I understand from Sabrina's situation because we're not trying to promote the NBA. The WNBA is trying to make a promotion on their own. I get that. But in the same token, Stephen Curry, get in the three-point contest. You are OG, right? You've been doing this for so long, right? Get in there with the young guys and see if you still want to smoke with them. It was just a bad movement by the NBA to try to make this thing better. I understand you want Mr. Beast to be on there, and the guy shot a three-pointer at the buzzer to win $100,000. We saw Kevin Hart give out gifts to, the TNT crew, and I think that was the best thing I've seen. An All-Star Weekend is tribute to that TNT basketball crew with Kenny, Chuck, Shaq, and Ernie. Those guys, they deserve that tribute. But they should have put more into that tribute because that's the last All-Star game that they're going to be doing. So it should have been more of a tribute there. Kevin Hart was funny. I think the Bay Area performance was dope. When you had E40 come out, Too Short come out now, Blow the Whistle was probably a top song again. You had Sweetie come out. You had In Vogue come out and perform. And they all from the Bay. I think that was pretty cool. Shout out to DJ Cassidy for putting it together. Shout out to the NBA for putting it together. I thought that was dope. But at the end of the day, it still was a horrible performance by the NBA players. So many commercials. So many stoppage in between games. It got really boring and I turned it off. But let me know what y'all think about the NBA All-Star Game. I thought it was a piece of crap of a product. It was a piece of crap of a product. But comment, like, and subscribe, and put your comments below and let me know your thoughts. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.